Hello and welcome. This is an overview of the Weldon V-MUX Diagnostics Program. V-MUX Diagnostics is used for system troubleshooting. With it, you can verify communication to all nodes, monitor network messages, send messages, check for output faults, and download input and output information from the nodes. You cannot extract a binary file from the node to install it into a new node. In that situation, you need to get the node design file from the truck builder. Use of the diagnostics program requires a V-MUX transceiver, available in the 6131 USB Field Service Kit. It allows customers to connect their Windows-based computer to the V-MUX network, for either node downloading, or network troubleshooting. It is a Pelican case that contains the USB transceiver, connection cables, and one-on-one node adapter cables. It also has a USB stick containing software and drivers, but please check for the newest versions of these files, on the akronbrass.com website. Visit our website at www.akronbrass.com. Click on the Vehicle Electronics tab. This will open a box where you can see all the Weldon and Class 1 links. Click the link for firmware and diagnostic software, at the bottom of the list under the Weldon logo. This will take you to the V-MUX software updates and downloads page. The diagnostics installation file is located in the V-MUX PC software section of the web page. If using the V-MUX transceiver for the first time, you should also download and run the transceiver driver installer. When you open the V-MUX Diagnostics installation application, you will be prompted to allow it to make changes to your device. Click Yes to continue. The installer will open up and show a welcome message. Click Next to continue. A prompt will ask where you would like to put the diagnostics application. The default location is pre-selected. You can click the Change button if a different location is needed. Otherwise, click Next to continue. Click the Finish button to complete the installation process. The transceiver should be plugged into the computer before opening diagnostics. Click the Windows icon, in the lower left corner of the screen, to open the Start menu. Scroll down to V-MUX Software, and open V-MUX Diagnostics. Transceiver detected and auto-selected should show at the bottom of the window. By default, the upper window shows analog values from the network, such as system voltage. Other upper window functions will be discussed later on in this video. The lower window will show messages from the V-MUX network. The side window will show the sync signal, network collisions, and node load shed levels. The sync signal is used to synchronize flash patterns from node to node, and always comes from node number 1. The V-MUX system voltage, seen in the upper window, is also sent from node 1. There are node icons along the left edge of the window, used to indicate which nodes have responded to pings. Tool buttons are located along the top of the window. Text explaining what each button does will appear when you hover over it. Here is a list showing all of the tool button functions. The first 4 buttons are settings, which can also be accessed by clicking on the Settings tab. In Tool Options, Detect Nodes should be checked, so that diagnostics will ping nodes when connected. Message Options are rules on how messages will be displayed in the lower window. Show All Messages will include analog commands, such as system voltage. Don't display duplicate messages will show a command on a single line and increment the count column each time it is sent. Display data in hex will show hex values instead of decimal in the data column. Message option functions can also be set by right-clicking in the lower message window. Message logging allows diagnostics to create a text file showing all messages with date and time information each time the connect button is used. The generate log and unique log per connect boxes should both be checked. In network options, there is a box to select V-MUX 2000 or V-MUX 98. Do not choose V-MUX 98. It will revert to diagnostic version 1.4 and produce error messages. If it happens, click through the errors, and hit the Network Options button to change back to V-MUX 2000. The Allow V-MUX Internal Commands checkbox is rarely used. A warning message will appear, since invalidating nodes becomes possible. Click OK to continue. The Send Artificial Sync box enables the computer to send the sync signal if node 1 is not present in the network you are connected to. Without a sync signal, each node will repeatedly send out a VM out of network message. Set the nodes in system slider bar to the max number of nodes that you expect to be in the network. Do not set to 32 nodes unless you have a truck that has that many. It will cause a long delay, while diagnostics waits for ping response from nodes that are not there. It is set to 6 nodes for this video. Connection method should be set to transceiver. Modem and pipe server connections are rare. The Connect Using button allows the same connection method choices. Database options is used to select the default SD commands database, or a custom saved file, as discussed later in this video. We can see the version and release date of the SD commands database. This is also where the database market can be selected. For this video, we are using the fire and rescue market. The Connect button is used to connect V-MUX Diagnostics to the network, and Disconnect is used to disconnect diagnostics. Clear Message List is used to clear the lower message window. Detect Active Nodes is used to ping all the nodes in the network. To enable direct connection to a single node, click on a node icon to select it, and then click the Mount Node button. Once mounted, the node icon will turn green, and the Mount button becomes the Unmount button. Flash Information is used to examine the program details of a mounted node, including node type, compile date, and the node OS version. Display Analog Data is used to set the upper window to show analog messages again. Input Diagnostics is used to view the input information of a mounted node in the upper window. Output Diagnostics is used to view the node outputs. Only input and output pins will be shown until program information is retrieved from the node. When you click the Retrieve Node Information button, a prompt will ask if you want to download input and output names. Click Yes, even though it will lengthen the download time. You can watch the progress at the bottom of the window as input and output details are transferred. This portion of the video is sped up to save time. Now when you select an input, you can see what V-MUX command gets sent when activated. Switch type will be either latching or momentary, and normally open or normally closed. On state will be battery plus or ground. A latching, normally open, ground input will turn the command on while ground is applied, and off when the signal is removed. In Output Diagnostics, you can now see output names, and the logic required to enable that output can be seen in the Relationships window. With this information, it is possible to send commands from Diagnostics to enable the output. We will be demonstrating this later in the video. PWM-capable outputs can be directly controlled from Output Diagnostics, even if you don't know what commands are needed to enable them. PWM outputs are represented by a light bulb. Node 1 is a Hercules node, so only outputs 1, 2, 15, and 16 are PWM capable. Click the light bulb to enable the output at 100% PWM level. You can also vary PWM percentage by setting the percent value in the control window and sending it using the arrow button to the right of it. Monitor Inputs and Outputs is used to show a digital representation of input and output states of the mounted node. 0 means off, and 1 means on. In this example, outputs 4, 6, and 7 are on. Monitor Node Collisions is used to report the number of collisions experienced by the mounted node. A collision is counted when one or more nodes send messages at the same time. The checksum value will be incorrect, and the messages will be immediately sent again by the nodes. PC stands for Packet Counter, indicating heavy network traffic. BC stands for Bus Collisions, indicating lost messages. All three counters should have low values in a healthy network, but not necessarily 0. If any counters are incrementing quickly, then network troubleshooting is required. You can use diagnostics to send V-MUX messages to enable outputs. There are 2 drop-down lists in the middle of the window. The first is to select command groups, and the second is to select the individual commands within that group. Output 6, Front Warning Lights Red, requires the E-Emergency Master and E-Warning Lights commands. In the first drop-down box, select the Emergency Commands group. In the second box, choose the E-Emergency Master command. The On-Off button is used to determine the message on or off state when sent. The command will not be sent until you click the Send button. E-Emergency Master will appear as an active command. You can double-click on a command in the upper logic window, or in the lower message window, to automatically select the group and command, with the specified on state. We will select the E-warning lights command. Hit send, and the E-warning lights command will be sent. Output 6 should now be on. If a node output has a fault, you will see fault detected in red text in the output diagnostics window. A fault message also appears in the lower message window. An output fault may indicate either open or short circuit. Once a fault occurs, the output will remain off until the node power is cycled off, then back on. You can also send analog command values. Choose the analog devices group, and then choose the specific analog command. For this example, we will use engine RPM. Enter a value in the data box, in this case 751. Click the Send button. Engine RPM with a value of 751 is now seen in the upper window. It will stay at that value until a new engine RPM message is sent. If there is another node sending that message, you will see it change within a few seconds. The message will only be seen in the lower window if Show All Messages is selected. Click Special Functions, Command Query, to ask a node if it sees an on or off state for any given command. Select the node, then select the command group, in this case Emergency Commands. We'll select the command E-Emergency Master. Click Send, and Node 1 reports that the E-Emergency Master command is off. If we enable the command and ask again, Node 1 reports that it is on. Click the Close button to exit. The Diagnostic Logs button is a link to the folder that contains the log files. These are text files that show all messages that were seen during a diagnostics session. The command column shows the name of the command that was sent, and state indicates whether it was on or off. The data column will show which node the message came from, or data values for analog commands. We can also see the message checksum, raw message data, and date and time stamps for each message. The log files can be helpful in troubleshooting some intermittent problems. There is a permissions problem that prevents diagnostics from creating these files in Windows 10 machines. Here is how to fix it. Open Windows Explorer and browse to see Program Files, x86, V-MUX Software. Right-click the V-MUX Diagnostics folder, and click Properties. Open the Securities tab, and click the Edit button. Click Add, and type Everyone in the Object Names box. Click OK to continue. Check the Modify and Full Control boxes, and click Apply, OK, and OK again to finish. In Windows Explorer, open the V-MUX Diagnostics folder, and look for a folder called Diaglogs. If it is missing, click New Folder, and name it Diaglogs, all lowercase. Save Current System can be used to save the information extracted from the nodes during the diagnostics session. Name the database and click OK. Hit Disconnect, and go to Database Options. From here you can select the database you just saved, and click OK. When you reconnect to the network, and mount Node 1, all of the input and output program information is already populated. This concludes this video lesson. To learn more about the Weldon V-MUX system, please proceed to the next lesson. You can contact Weldon at 800-989-2718 if there are any questions.